As humans continue to rapidly accelerate, replacing ourselves with robot overlords, or otherwise see if we can't make Wall-E into a prophetic mockumentary, one group of Homo sapiens refuses to go quietly into the night. And while it may come as a surprise to you, this group is seemingly set to inherit the Earth, given their population is exploding, whilst birth rates for the rest of us are declining to an extent that most developed nations are already well past the point where their coming generations will be significantly smaller than the current. But not so much for our butter-churning brethren. We are, of course, speaking of the Amish, who provide for us a stark contrast to our fast-paced, egocentric lives with their staunch and deliberate refusal to get swept up in any of it. But is Amish life really as idyllic as it appears from the outside? And just what is the reality of life as an Amish person really like? Well, hitch up your buggy and let's walk through the valley where they harvest their grain. To begin with, there are a bit over 36 distinct Amish groups and countless communities within those, with a surprising amount of variance in terms of what's acceptable within one community versus another. That's not to say there are no universals. For example, one thing you'll find in every Amish community is a fierce sense of family and community, with members focusing on minimalistic, humble lives. On that latter point, likely a million times as humble as thou art, with a rejection of highlighting the individual in the sense that standing out or acting like you're something special, or what we might call Kardashian attention, would definitely see you shunned from the community. Which, I mean, well, I've just had an idea. But going back to humility, this is seen as a boon to community harmony, as well as just a key tenet of practicing their faith. And this brings us to another universal amongst Amish groups, their specific brand of Christianity. While exact beliefs vary a bit from Amish group to Amish group, in an oversimplified nutshell, they put God and community above the individual and strive to live a simple and humble life, with that simplicity being a sign of humility and separating themselves from worldly things. Specific rules for a given community lie in the respective community's ordinance. And once baptized into the church, which is a choice you make as an adult, you are strictly bound by these rules and the will of your community, with each community being self-governed. The Amish also pretty universally highlight forgiveness and are staunchly pacifists, even to the point that if a local boy kicked them in the butt last week, they would really likely smile and turn that other cheek. But to sum up, they have a firm belief that part of living the good life is to be dedicated to creating a hard-working and loving community kept separate from the world to help shield it from negative outside factors as much as possible. As one Amish man named Sam notes, "I can see the big changes they have brought to society, which my children will never see. There is more independence on the individual level, but people have become more selfish. Everything is for themselves. We value the idea of working for the betterment of everyone. Christ said, we are to be a light to the world. We are not saying we want everyone to be Amish or that we are better, but our goal in a selfish society is to show people that it works if we are honest in our dealings, respect people, and go the extra mile."